Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to day 142 of Qur'an in a Year Plus, where we learn to look at the world and live life according to the lens of the Qur'an. Today we're going to be looking at verses 31 to 42 of Surah Yunus. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم قل من يرزقكم من السماء والأرض أم من يملك السمع والأبصار ومن يخرج الحي من الميت ويخرج الميت من الحي ومن يدبر الأمر فسيقولون الله فقل أفلا تتقون. Say, O Messenger, to those who associate partners with Allah, who provides for you from the sky by sending down rain upon you, and who provides for you from the earth through what grows in it of vegetation and what it contains of minerals, and who brings forth the living from the dead, such as a human from a drop of fluid, and a bird from an egg, and brings forth the dead from the living, such as a drop of fluid from an animal and an egg from a bird, and who manages and governs the affairs of the heavens and the earth, and all that is within them. They will surely answer that it is Allah who does all of that. So say to them, will you not then be mindful of Allah and fear Him by obeying His commands and avoiding His prohibitions? فَذَلِكُمُ اللَّهُ رَبُّكُمُ الْحَقُّ فَمَاذَا بَعْدَ الْحَقِّ إِلَّا الضَّلَالُ فَأَنَّى تُصْرَفُونَ. The one who does all of that, O people, is Allah, your true Lord, your Creator and the one who manages all your affairs. After the truth, what is there except deviation and loss? So how are your minds turned away from this clear truth? كذلك حقت كلمة ربك على الذين فسقوا أنهم لا يؤمنون. Just as true lordship is firmly established for Allah, so too has the decisive decree of your Lord been confirmed against those who rebelled against the truth out of stubbornness, that they will not believe. قل هل من شركائكم من يبدأ الخلق ثم يعيده قل الله يبدأ الخلق ثم يعيده فأنى تؤفكون. Say, O Messenger, to those who associate partners with Allah, is there anyone among the partners you worship besides Allah who originates creation without precedent, then brings it back to life after death? Say to them, Allah is the one who originates creation without precedent, then brings it back to life after death. So how are you, O polytheists, turned away from the truth toward falsehood? قل هل من شركائكم من يهدي إلى الحق قل الله يهدي للحق أفمن يهدي إلى الحق أحق أن يتبع أم من لا يهدي إلا أن يهدى فما لكم كيف تحكمون. Say to them, O Messenger, is there anyone among the partners you worship besides Allah who guides to the truth? Say to them, Allah alone guides to the truth. So is the one who guides people to the truth and calls them to it more deserving to be followed, or those you worship who cannot even guide themselves unless someone else guides them? What is wrong with you? How do you judge with falsehood when you claim that they are partners with Allah? Exalted is Allah far above what you claim. وَمَا يَتَّبِعُ أَكْثَرُهُمْ إِلَّا ظَنًّا إن الظن لا يغني من الحق شيئا إن الله عليم بما يفعلون. Most of the polytheists follow nothing but conjecture and what they have no knowledge of. They only follow assumption and doubt. Indeed, doubt cannot take the place of knowledge, nor can it replace it. Allah is fully aware of what they do, Nothing of their actions is hidden from him, and he will recompense them for it. وما كان هذا القرآن أن يفترى من دون الله ولكن تصديق الذي بين يديه وتفصيل الكتاب لا ريب فيه من رب العالمين. It is not possible for this Qur'an to be fabricated and attributed to other than Allah, since people are incapable of producing anything like it. Rather, it confirms the scriptures revealed before it and clarifies what was summarized in them of rulings. There is no doubt that it is sent down from the Lord of all creation. أم يقولون افتراه قل فأتوا بسورة مثله وادعوا من استطعتم من دون الله إن كنتم صادقين. Or do these polytheists say, Muhammad has fabricated this Qur'an himself and attributed it to Allah? Say, O Messenger, in response to them, if I had brought it from myself, while I am a human being like you, then bring forth a single surah like it, and call upon whoever you are able to call upon for help besides Allah, if you are truthful in your claim that the Qur'an is fabricated and false. You will never be able to do so. Your inability, despite being masters of eloquence and language, is clear proof that the Qur'an is revealed from Allah. بل كذبوا بما لم يحيطوا بعلمه ولما يأتهم تأويله كذلك كذب الذين من قبلهم فانظر كيف كان عاقبة الظالمين. They did not respond to these challenges. Rather, they hastened to deny the Qur'an before understanding it or reflecting upon it. And the punishment about which they have been warned has not yet come to them, although it is near. In the same way, previous nations rejected, and then the punishment came down upon them. So reflect upon the end of these nations who rejected the truth, for Allah destroyed them. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يُؤْمِنُ بِهِ وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ لَا يُؤْمِنُ بِهِ وَرَبُّكَ أَعْلَمُ بِالْمُفْسِدِينَ. Among the polytheists are those who will believe in the Qur'an before their death, and among them are those who will never believe in it out of stubbornness and arrogance until they die. Your Lord, O Messenger, knows best those who persist in disbelief, and He will recompense them for their disbelief. وَإِن كَذَّبُوكَ فَقُلْ لِي عَمَلِي وَلَكُمْ عَمَلُكُمْ أَنْتُمْ بَرِيئُونَ مِمَّا أَعْمَلُ وَأَنَا بَرِيءٌ مِّمَّا تَعْمَلُونَ. If your people reject you, O Messenger, then say to them, I will be rewarded for my deeds and take responsibility for the consequences thereof. And you will be rewarded for your deeds and face the consequences thereof. You are free from the consequences of what I do, and I am free from what you all do. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَسْتَمِعُونَ إِلَيْكَ أَفَأَنْتَ تُسْمِعُ الصُّمَّ وَلَوْ كَانُوا لَا يَعْقِلُونَ. And some polytheists listen when you, O Messenger, recite the Qur'an, not wanting to accept it and submit to it. Can you make one who has been deprived of hearing truly hear? Likewise, you will not be able to guide those who have become deaf to hearing the truth and therefore do not understand it. As we reflect over today's verses, Allah asks the people of Mecca a series of questions that leave no room for confusion. Who provides for you? Who controls your hearing and sight? Who brings life out of death and death out of life? Who manages everything? Who is the one that possesses all these qualities? Who is the one that guides? Who is the one that creates out of nothing? These were not atheists. They were not confused about who created them or who controlled the universe. They knew Allah was the Lord, the provider, the one who gives life and death, the one who manages all affairs. They believed in His Lordship, but they failed to understand that He is the one that is deserving of all worship. And Allah tells them that if you understand this, will you not then observe taqwa? How are you turning away? How do you turn away from truth to falsehood? What is the matter with you that you judge in this manner? If you understand this, then this leads to following and submission, living life in accordance with that. And in Tafsir al-Manar it comes that in Allah saying, "Say who provides for you from the sky and the earth." He says, in this is an affirmation that true Tawheed cannot be valid while separating between Lordship and divinity, as they used to do. They would affirm the Tawheed of Lordship while denying the Tawheed of divinity. And Ibn Taymiyyah says, the polytheists did not equate their gods with Allah in everything. Rather, they believed that Allah alone is their creator and owner, and that they themselves are created and owned by Him. However, they equated Him with those gods in love and veneration, and in supplication, worship, vows to them, and similar acts that are exclusively the right of the Lord, glorified and exalted. Knowing something is not the same as truly knowing, which leads to action. And this is where we have to pause and ask ourselves as well, that we recognize that Allah exists, that He is the one that is deserving of worship. But do we live in that way? Is He central to our lives? We know that He controls everything, but do we place our deepest fears, hopes, and attachments elsewhere? How often does Allah exist in our beliefs, but not in our priorities? Allah repeats these proofs because human beings forget. We know the truth, then life distracts us. We believe, then we drift. The Qur'an keeps pulling us back, teaching us about Allah, so that this knowledge settles in our hearts and nurtures a real relationship, where He becomes central in our lives. And Allah tells us, and most of them follow nothing but assumption. Indeed, assumption does not avail against the truth at all. This verse removes the illusion that rejection is based on deep thought or superior reasoning. As Imam Qurtubi mentions, and most of them follow nothing but assumption. This refers to their leaders. They follow nothing but conjecture and fabrication in claiming that these are gods and that they intercede. They have no proof for this. As for their followers, they follow them out of blind imitation. All the signs around us point us to our Creator. And through revelation, we get to know our Creator. And through it, we get the answers to the bigger questions of life. Who created me? Why am I here? What is my purpose? What happens after death? Where am I going? Who deserves my ultimate loyalty? If revelation is rejected, something else has to fill that space. And what fills it is not certainty but assumption, personal desire, human opinions, cultural trends, popular voices, emotional comfort. Allah challenged them to bring something like the Qur'an, and they were unable to do that. And Allah tells us, rather they denied that which they had not encompassed in knowledge, and whose interpretation had not yet come to them. Shaykh al-Sa'di says, in this is evidence for being deliberate in matters, and that a person should not hasten to accept something or reject it before fully understanding it. They rejected the Qur'an not because they studied it and found it lacking, but because they did not want its implications. They denied before understanding, and this pattern has repeated itself throughout history. How often do people dismiss faith, revelation, or accountability without actually engaging them seriously? How often is rejection emotional before it is intellectual? Assumption, no matter how confident it feels, can never replace the truth. And this is a question that we ask ourselves, that am I following certainty? Do I verify information? Or do I just follow what feels comfortable, familiar, or convenient? And in Tafsir al-Manar it comes that the objective of a Muslim's life should be the purification of the soul and its perfection by following the truth in every belief and guidance, meaning righteousness in every action. Both must be built upon the foundation of knowledge, not assumption, nor what is beneath it of conjecture and illusion. And Allah did not leave us without direction. He sent down a book to be followed. When He says, and a detailed explanation of the book about which there is no doubt from the Lord of all creation. Shaykh Sa'di says, the one who nurtured all creation through His blessing sent down this book as one of the greatest forms of His care. It contains both religious and worldly interests, and it cultivates noble character and righteous deeds. But guidance cannot be forced. It is something a person has to accept. When Allah says, and if they reject you, O Messenger, say my deeds are mine and yours are yours. This reminds us that listening is not the same as accepting. Exposure is not the same as transformation. No one can believe on behalf of another. No one can change on behalf of another. And no one can obey on behalf of another. All of us will be standing alone in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala one day. And we're all going to have to answer. So the question we're left with is not, did I know the truth? But did I follow it in the way that it was supposed to be followed? So as we walk away from today's episode, let us also ask ourselves these very same questions that Allah posed in these verses. And then let us try to respond in a way that is in accordance with what it entails. May Allah the Almighty make us from the people of taqwa. May He guide us to His path and keep us firm upon that until we leave this world. May He take us into an easy, swift account on the Day of Judgment. I'll see you tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.